From the geniuses over at Buzzfeed, this frustrated real estate agent's rant about the real cause of the housing crisis is so spot on. I didn't realize that I had a VIP front row seat to watching the American dream get sifted away from the working class. So, this article is a great example of the stupid leading the stupider, or I guess maybe the ignorant leading the even more ignorant. The basis of this piece is this self-proclaimed coach and realtor who has pretty big following on TikTok. Uh, that gives you any idea as to his leanings. And he's whining about the current state of the single family real estate market. And I get it. The market's difficult right now. Median price has gone up a lot, but it's not because of what these idiots say.
The exact reason the housing market's unaffordable is the exact reason you should keep talking about Epstein.
It's because the Fed dropped rates to zero and gave a bunch of free money away, and that drove artificial demand. So first, I want to say I do like this guy's shirt. I'm assuming it comes with some GHB, so if anybody knows where I can get it, let me know. And he starts off by giving a little bit of background on himself, and it's pretty telling because he talks about how much money he used to make.
There was a year that between coaching and sales, because I was telling people how to do what I was doing on social media, I made over $400,000, my wife and I.
And then he goes full tinfoil hat, goes on this weird Charlie Day, the map with the strings rant of why single family real estate is in the state that it's in. And he goes really far back in time, like decades, like he's discovered the secret of the universe. And it's he's got this book that he like sort of shows with all of his notes on it. It's all coming to him like this tapestry of Taco Bell diarrhea splattered all over the wall. He's got all of it in there too. He's got evil billionaires, he's got the Prince of England paying off women and all that stuff. I'd give him a better score if he threw in things like crab or lizard people, maybe aliens. So you get a C minus for the rant. And he doesn't really make a point like the BuzzFeed article said he would. He really doesn't even have any decent actionable advice. Like what, live with roommates? Okay, I did that when I was in my early and mid 20s, and because I couldn't afford to have a place for myself. This is like common sense stuff. So, I don't really understand how he's a coach. Anybody watching this, if this guy comes off as a lunatic in this video.
When I start to look back through the system and look at Citizens United in 2010, post-2008 crash, when I look at the infiltration, the infestation of institutional investors buying up and banking on asset inflation that is housing, that is shelter, keeping normal everyday people out of having a roof in exchange for billionaires having bigger accounts.
But I think his point is that rich, powerful, cigar smoking men in dimly lit rooms are plotting to turn us all into human batteries. And the way that he thinks companies like Blackstone, for example, are going to do this is by, by owning 0.07% of the single family homes in the United States. Again, the way that they frame this is that every other house on the block, or every third house on the block, or every fourth house on the block is owned by some hedge fund, which is just an objective lie. But they try to frame it that way. So apparently, all these big gay institutional investors that pull the strings in this guy's life, they only own about 574,000 homes in the US, and that's of 2022. So I'm sure they've bought more since then. And they do also sell them from time to time. And we've been in a transaction depression. So the total numbers, they can manipulate you with percentages. Now, let's just say these guys have another 26,000, we'll make it an even 600,000 single family homes that they own. That would give them 0.6 of all single family homes in the US. And this is all institutional investors, all of them, hedge funds, everything. 0.6. That's one every, 200 homes. Like, sorry, Zach, but Bill Gates isn't buying the 3-bed, 2-bath ranch home on your street. He's just not.
The exact reason the housing market's unaffordable is the exact reason you should keep talking about Epstein.
Well, he's dead, so
It's billionaire control over you and I at a macro scale. It's not even close.
This guy, he's, he repeats this financially illiterate take that a home that you live in is somehow an investment. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't buy a home or that it's bad to buy a home, but it's not an investment. It is a liability. You put your money into it, it produces zero income, and if you don't pay it, you lose it, and you're the one that's paying for it. So yeah, there's a forced savings aspect, which you don't even really get, especially, at 6.5%. You're not even really getting any principal pay down until year 15. You can get equity over time. True. So long story short, I think this guy's butthurt because, like I said, he had said how much money he was making before. I think he said 400K, and you could have been brain dead, especially 2020 through like Q1 2022, and made money in real estate. If you single family, if you were just flipping homes.
There seems to be a lot of corporations and a lot of people making a lot of money.
And I think he's struggling now, so he's probably busting out the whole dollar store Alex Jones bit on TikTok. And I'm sure it appeals to most of these people. I was looking through the articles or not the articles, the comments of this, and it, it's just these people just have no idea what they're talking about. It's crazy.